up, everybody? Hope you're having a brilliant, beautiful day like I am. Out here testing out a new bike. But today I wanted to talk to the new riders. Or maybe the guys that think they are invincible. But as I've been out riding and testing the limits on some of the motorcycles, been realizing some things I've done wrong and some things I want to encourage you guys to do. The first thing I have realized is I tend to stop breathing if I'm pushing harder, and you gotta breathe. I don't care if you're just cruising around or if you're doing some things that you shouldn't be doing. Excuse me. But remember to breathe. Just take good deep breaths. It's not smart to limit your oxygen level to your brain. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just think about it. Remember that you need to just breathe. Just take it easy. So the second thing is I was out pushing the limits on my little Ninja, and you really need to get to know a bike. Yeah, pronunciation. You need to get to know a motorcycle before you try to do more than you should. So I encourage you to ride it, test where, you know, till it starts to give a little bit. I mean, obviously you don't want to wreck, especially not on purpose. So just ride a bike for a few weeks, get a great feel of it, learn where the edges are, learn where the limits are, and beyond that, you need to know if your bike has any soft spots or anything you need to address. You got to know what your brakes are going to do when you have to really use them. You have to know where your tires are going to let loose. You need to know all this before you try to do more than you can, or things could go wrong. And I don't want to hear about anybody wrecking. I don't want to hear about anybody doing something that they shouldn't because they weren't ready or the bike wasn't ready. And you know, when I'm out testing bikes that I've rebuilt, you gotta know what your bike's gonna do. You gotta be able to feel everything if it's off, just even a little bit, because then you can fix it. So those are two things. I think I had a list of like 4 or 5. Hopefully I remember them. Along the lines of that though, you really, when I'm riding all kinds of different motorcycles, sport bikes and cruisers and whatever you want to qualify this as, we'll do a video introducing this bike, but for now it's just a hot rod. But yeah, you gotta know how each bike's going to respond to your inputs, because if the bike's tuned and the bike's safe, you should be able to push it to the limits with safety and still be living to tell this tale. But it's one of those beautiful days. Look guys, I have my gear on and we're gonna go need to do some title transfer work, so I'm gonna take care of that. But right now I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about safety and comfort level when your motorcycle. You don't want to get too tense. Just shake it out. So along with breathing, make sure you're not tensed it up, because then you might twist the throttle a little harder than you expected to. I'm sure you guys all know this. You guys are all safe. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, you need to be able to go out and test your bike in all different weather. If you're gonna ride in snow, be my guest, but make sure you have proper warm gear on. Make sure you're not gonna get cold, because body fatigue really sets in. Wet riding, I don't do it a lot, but I have done a little bit, and there again, your bike's gonna completely, it might act a little bit different in a wet environment. So definitely want to make sure that you're prepared for that. If you get stuck in the rain, unless you're going to stop and wait it out, you got to know if your tires are going to slip. You got to know how much earlier you need to brake. You just got to be safe, and you can't be pushing. Just got to be careful. My viewers are my family, so anybody watching this, I got you, and I don't want to see anyone hurt. If you've never ridden with a passenger, make sure that you don't try to show off. That's another thing. Guys, if you're not comfortable on your bike, you can't be showing off either. Because you're just going to do stupid stuff. And that's not worth it. You're going to wreck yourself, and you're going to wreck your bike, and then where are you going to be? Spending a fortune, buying something new. Can't do it. Or you shouldn't do it. Alright, let's see what she'll do getting on the highway. As soon as this guy gets past me. This is testing. I don't know what this is going to do yet. She seems pretty cooperative until now. Well, there's the speed limit. Sorry, that wasn't very exciting. Wish I didn't have my tank bag on here flapping around. Making me a little nervous. It's falling apart. It has a hole in it. So, if that takes off, hopefully I can catch it. So guys, what am I riding? This just happens to be a 1984 Honda V65 Magna, or also known as the VF700S. No, it's not the one that I am going to have to rebuild. If you saw that video, you know that one only has 5,000 miles. This one has, according to the clock, 76,000, almost 77,000 miles. Does that mean it's old and used up? No. Just mean it has experience. These Hondas, a lot of motorcycles, as long as they're taken care of, you can get tons of miles out of them. I'll tell you what, this doesn't have any wind protection. I'm feeling it. I can get down in a little bit. She's a little squirrely. it's funny, this compared to my little 500 Ninja, that thing, man, you tuck in behind, you're like a rocket ship. You can cut through the air, no big deal. This thing is like a big muscle bike, catching all the wind, throwing it back at me. I'm sure she could do it, but she's a little hard to handle. Top speed, I've seen some places 145. I saw somewhere it said 177 for this bike, and this speedo only goes up to 160, so I guess we'll never know. And if this is how she feels in good shape, I'm not going to be the one to do 170 on her. I don't even know where I need to get off. Guess I should pay attention to that. I can't even tell. I can't see my phone. Gotta get it a mount up here somewhere. If you can't pay attention to the road, how are you gonna know where to go?